If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Last on the Road subscribers and followers. Just watched a video the other day where this couple have parked in a Walmart parking lot and they were told to leave. Now, they know that the parking, you could park in this Walmart before because they've done it many times in the past. Walmart is really starting to crack down on this overnight staying. Now, they said when they stay, they always make sure they get up in the morning and they leave. They don't, stay long periods of time. And they're trying to really educate people on how to stay in a Walmart parking lot appropriately so we can stop shutting these down. And that's fine. I mean, I don't think I'll ever stay in a Walmart parking lot. I hate to say that and then have to one day. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the idea. But, make sure you pick up your trash and, you take care of the spot. Don't run your generator. Don't be pouring oil on the parking lot. They're trying to give out this public service announcement based on their philosophy that it's okay to stay in a Walmart. Fine. Great. Well, then they explain why this particular Walmart is shutting down, because big rigs are parking in the parking lot and they're just leaving it there and they're not even staying. Leave it there for a few days at a time. They show a big rig there right now with a note from the manager on the window saying, you got to get your truck out of here. We're going to have it towed. So their solution to this problem that they have is they're going to go park on the street. And this is where everything just goes nuts for me. So they just gave this public service announcement stating how to be responsible parking in a Walmart parking lot. But now they're going to go park in a city street. And they said, now we don't know if we can stay here or not, but that's okay because, we've only been kicked out one time, with the knock on the door where they told us to leave. But that's okay because if they knock on the door, then, we'll just leave. No big deal. They're always nice about it. You don't get tickets or anything. So we'll leave and we'll just go on. And he said the only bad thing about it is you lose some sleep over it. You just interrupt it. So I find this absolutely fascinating, how he is telling everybody how to appropriately stay in a Walmart parking lot, but then goes and screws it all up when he says, but now you can go sleep in a city street and it's okay if they kick you out because all you got to do is leave and you'll lose a little sleep. Well, here's the thing. Here's what they're not understanding. Is all the things they said about the Walmart parking lot is now null and void, because what's going to happen is, yes, they could get kicked out. Let's say they do get kicked out and they have to leave. Well, that's no big deal. One person the city isn't going to care about, the cops aren't going to care about. But now imagine person after person after person go to this Walmart, they get kicked out of the Walmart, and then they go into the town to park on the city street. Now the city has to deal with all the people who thought they could stay at the Walmart parking lot. So the city is now having to put more taxes, more revenue, more cops to kick people out. And so what was one person who violated some ordinance that they didn't know about, now they got 50, 100, 1,000 people, every month coming through, parking in the city streets that they got to kick it out. The more this happens, the more people say, it's okay this one time, the more the cities are going to get aggravated with it. And the more restrictions they're going to put on things. Now, I told you that I parked in a city street, and the police officer came to the door, and I was sure that I hadn't done anything wrong. The rule was, there was no rule about sleeping in your vehicle. The rule was that you could not park RVs in the city street. So when he came and knocked on the door, he says, I'm not sure if you can sleep in your truck or not. Well, I knew I could. I knew I could. But I was concerned about whether he was going to classify my pickup truck as a camper or as a truck. The reason they don't want RVs parked in the streets is because the residents actually would park RVs in the streets months on end, tires would go flat, and it just made the place look ugly. So they just banned all RVs from being able to park in city streets. Whether you're driving through the town or not, you can't park an RV. Well, they apparently did classify my truck as a truck with a camper, or with a topper on it. So more and more people, let's just assume that this town is the one that has the problem. More and more people coming in with their vans, and they're sleeping in the van, and they're having to issue more tickets and put more resources. They're going to ban sleeping in vans. This is how things get started. Is It starts out innocently enough, just like a Walmart. You know, hey, you know what? We have an idea. We would like for you to come and sleep in our parking lot overnight. If you'll come in, buy a cup of coffee, you know, buy something, and then in the morning, just go ahead and leave. Well, this became abused. Well, I can stay here one night, maybe I can stay here 2 nights, and then I can stay here 3 nights. And then all of a sudden, you got people putting out the barbecue pits, rolling out the lawn chairs, you know, tying their pets up to the camper, got their canopies out, you know, they've disconnected the truck, they've got their levelers out, and it becomes an RV park, not a Walmart parking lot. And so Walmart has just said, okay, well, it went from, we'd like for you to stay at night to, we just don't want you here anymore. And this is what is happening throughout the country. Not only at Walmart parking lots, but city streets. Campgrounds are getting shut down because people are abusing them and staying way longer than they're supposed to. And acting like they own it. This is where things start getting abused. Look at your surroundings. If there's more than 10 campers in an area, and you read the sign, and the sign says, anybody that has a campsite over 10 people must have a permit. Well, then, you know, things are starting to get stretched. And I see it all the time. You know, people will start making campsites out of spots that obviously are not camp spots. When it's muddy, they run through the grass, tearing up the yard. You see that all the time. I was just told the other day, I made a video about getting water out of a city park. And there was no spigots anywhere. You couldn't get water. There was just no spigots. The only water there was in a sink. And I said, well, if you can't put a bucket in the sink, then it wasn't intended for you to take 40 gallons of water. And the guy says, common sense would say that if it's a public park with public water, you are public, you can have that water. No, sir, sorry. The common sense says it's a sink with a little push button knob that, you know, you push down and it slowly comes back up and shuts off. They don't want you filling 40, 80, 120 gallons of water. They don't. They want you to wash your hands. That's common sense. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video.